Okay, so I've recorded this video like 4 or 5 times now, and I keep messing up, and I'm gonna just make it very short and simple because I really want to talk about it, but I clearly can't focus or like make the video without messing up terribly and ruining the entire thing. So I'm gonna just make it very simple, make a statement, talk about it, and then end it there. There is no plan B. Okay, there's no plan B, right? If you want to be truly successful with whatever you want to chase after, you have to eliminate the idea of plan B. Okay. Now I know it's scary, it's dangerous. What if I don't have enough money? What are people going to say when I fail? What are people going to say when I have to live below my means and, just be seen in a less situation or a less um status bringing situation because I didn't succeed? Who cares? Who cares? The honest thing that you have to tell yourself when you're chasing after plan A, there is no plan B, right? It may be a thought like, hey, maybe I should, if this doesn't work out, maybe I'll go do this, right? Maybe I'll go do that. Maybe I'll have some money set aside. Now, resources, backup resources, that's different, right? You should have that. Having some backup money, cool, great, awesome, right? But having a backup plan, like an actual backup plan, I genuinely feel like causes you to not go that hard, right? And some may argue that it doesn't, or some may argue that it does cause you to go hard, right? It's like, hey, well, I have something to fall back on, so now I can just go all in, right? Because I know what's going to happen if it falls through. I have something to fall back on. Great, you might be right, right? You might be right, but in the same sentence, right? Because you have something to fall back on, you don't take those really scary and bold risks, right? You're not going as hard. When somebody like human desire is a scary thing. Okay, I'm gonna just cut off what I was about to say. Human desire is a scary thing. If you've ever seen documentaries of any artist, athlete, or somebody who's just really, really like that in their field, listen to how they talk about like all or nothing in terms of chasing after what they wanted to do. Listen to how they talk about how it was either I wake up the next day and I chase after it, or I die that same day, right? It's pretty extreme. It's not that extreme, like, but you have an idea in your head, right? Like when they talk about what they really wanted to do, there's nothing else on their mind. Nothing else. You can't convince them to put the ball down and go, pursue a career in something else, or you can't convince them to leave the studio and, maybe do this instead because it might make them a little bit more money for that time. You can't convince them none of that. They're like, yo, this is it. This is all I want to do, right? And to make matters even worse, they don't allow themselves to get comfortable. Because that's also a big downfall to a lot of people who try to become successful in one particular field. Is you get to a place of comfort, and the comfort causes your decline, right? It causes you to decline. You feel like you're, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm making good money. I'm getting nope, 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 nope. Now you're starting to slip, right? Now you're starting to work on your craft a little bit less, right? Like, I'm good. I'm set up for this, that. Now, look, if you make it to the end of your life and you generally are just like, you know what? I did what I did, right? I'm successful. I make some good money. Cool, great. But if you reach the pinnacle of your success very, very young or just younger than most people, that makes it even harder to chase after it because now you have a reason to stop, right? Like I made it. I got good money. You know what I'm saying? I'm living in a high rise. I'm driving a good car. I got my own house. Awesome. Great. Now, in order to continue all of that, you have to keep pushing like you can lose it, which you can, right? So, the idea of having a plan B, realistically, it's good, but it's also the very thing that can sell you and cause you to lose everything, right? Towards plan A, because you know you have a backup. You know that if worst case scenario, this doesn't work out, I can just fall back on this, you know? Which, when we say worst case scenario, I mean, that's life, right? That's just life. Life happens, stuff happens. But if you allow the possibility to fall back on something, prevent you from going all in with whatever you're doing, then clearly plan B, or that backup, or that just in case type of plan, is destroying your ability to be successful. It's simple. There's no other way to really explain it. For some people, it isn't. It's causing them to want to go hard, right? But for a lot of people, it's either you do it or you don't. And I think when you can finally convince yourself to stick with that mentality, there is nothing you can't do. If you literally don't give yourself an out, and it's like either I'm all in or I'm all out, that's where the magic happens. Simple, right? I don't even gotta do an outro. That is the outro. Simple. So take it or leave it. There is no plan B.